Does anybody have any questions? Okay.
Highway, their only stipulation was whether or not it caused a new sightline issue with moving it.
No, because it's only when people take a right and head north out that they can't see the oncoming traffic, so the relocation would allow pure sight lines on both ways, whether they're taking a left or a right outside of the plant.
Okay, let the record show that there's no other questions. The only thing that I would, as far as on here, as long as, if what we vote on does fall and comply with the zoning board regulations as far as the size, that's the only thing that I just want to make noted on the record, that we would approve it if that does fall within that dimension.
That's our intent, yes.
Oh, okay.
Is the setback gonna remain the same? I don't see that spelled out anywhere. Is it,
If you get a little closer, you can see that we aligned it with the same plane that it's on right now, so it'll just be, again, outside of the highway right-of-way on our property, along the same plane as this, just maybe a little bit further back. We just don't want to put it too far back because it'll be in the woods at that point in our event.
it's gonna be the same setback or more?
Correct, absolutely. Where it stands right now is basically on the right-of-way line anyway, so it would have to go back a little bit further.
Thank you.
We do have a draft resolution, so as long as everything lines up on the draft resolution conditionally to what you guys have stipulated, then we can move forward with the resolution from there.
All right, and what do you figure for a timeline to get him the stipulations of what his sign dimensions and everything will be?
I can have this done this week,
Okay.
as far as that conversation, if that works for you, having a conversation this week. Great.
I think the stipulation would have to be changed, item 4, because it says there'd be no changes to the size, shape, or design, correct? So
Yep, that would have to change, yes,
that
sir.
will have to change. So it would have to change to the effect that it will meet the zoning regulations for sign, or some language of that sort, correct?
Yep, exactly.
Right, even though the existing sign might not have complied with that, whatever the new regulations, I would imagine it would have
It
to
would have
fall
to
under.
be, yep.
Yeah. All right, let the record show, there's no other questions from the board. Everybody in favor? Let the record show, everybody's in favor. I motion to close the discussion on application 22-182-Z. All right, that's done. For new business, we have an application number 22-334-Z. It's a Marvin O'Reilly, I must apologize for not being able to pronounce that. If anybody else wants to give a shot at it,
Oriana?
okay. Applicant applying for a variance to the zoning regulation under Schedule B, line 8, relating to minimum setback for property line to permit a 36 by 15 pavilion structure and retaining wall at 346 Jeremy Swamp Road, 41-43-11, zoned R60. We're taking that application for the following month's meeting, which would be in December.
Information on this site is in your packet, so review it at your own time.
Yep.
That is an after-the-fact application.
What do you mean, it came in,
Nope, it's already been
Um,
built.
oh, it's already been built?
There was a, yeah. There's
Oh.
information
It's all in your
about,
packet, yep.
that Jordan has put together from the wetlands application as a supplement.
Okay, and we cannot have a discussion, if I'm not mistaken, on this until next month, correct?
Correct, it's just received today.
Okay.
Did you want to schedule a public hearing for that?
Do we need to have a public hearing for that? Well, I mean, other than next month's appointment, meeting.
An additional meeting, you're saying, another.
Well, that would be, in what prospect are you, as far as a public meeting, are you talking among board members, or to put out there to have the town residents being able to attend, or, I'm not following you, I'm sorry, I apologize.
No, I understand, because I'm not so sure because of the fact that it's an after-the-fact application. There was a complaint, and then, you can ask,
Well, we need to hear that complaint, is that right?
yeah, all the information is in the packet that we gave to you,
Okay.
and the application is there as well, and the circumstances concerning, the structures that were built. Jordan, if you wanna step in.
Yeah, essentially, what's in your packet, if what Bonnie's stating is we want to formally schedule a public hearing for our next meeting.
Usually we do receive the application and then we schedule a public hearing.
So by scheduling a public hearing, the following meeting, we'll have it on the agenda as now it is a public hearing.
But I would think that would be a given, I don't know, that's why I'm getting
I think
confused.
you
'Cause
might have to formally,
You formally say you motion that it was received and schedule a hearing.
Oh,
public
okay,
hearing.
all right, I apologize.
no problem.
All right, yes, I do believe that would be in order. I motion to have a public hearing on this for the following month, which would be December what? What's the first Tuesday? Does anybody have that on their calendar?
Yeah.
That would be December,
December 6th.
yeah, it has to be a first full week, so that would be the 6th. Yeah, December
The
6th.
first Tuesday, so that would be December.
I can't find it.
All right, so I motion to put it on for December 6th of 2022 for the applicant number 22-334-Z.
Second?
And this is the notice to abutters for water company.
This is what, for the abutting property?
Mhm.
Okay, let the record show that we did receive a certified mailed letter from the Real Estate Heritage LLC, which is the abutting property to the Heritage Water Company at 316 Heritage Road, Southbury, Connecticut. I believe we should probably enter that into the file.
Thank you.
Carl seconded the motion.
Yep, so we're good on that. See, I must apologize, I thought automatically, once an application is submitted, that it's scheduled for a public hearing.
You may be correct.
Because other than that, we would have to every time do that, and we haven't done that in the past. So I don't know if it is something, if it is, then I think we should be aware of it to make the change. Other than that, I assumed once the application is submitted, they're requesting to have a public hearing,
Okay.
wouldn't you?
Maybe
makes
my
sense.
mistake.
Yeah, no, that's fine, it's unusual, that's all. So for new business, we have that, other business, any correspondence or anything that we have?
No.
Okay, last month's minutes, we need to have an approval of October 4th, 2022 regular meeting minutes. Do we have any objections to entering those into the recordings and everything? Let the record show there's,
Motion that we accept the minutes.
okay. Any new bills?
No.
Okay. Any other business that may properly come before the board that we have?
Excuse me?
Is there any other business that we have? Maybe mention as far as the meeting coming up for the AquaTurf?
Sure, you could,
I don't have the exact dates, otherwise I would be able to. I mean, other than that, I don't know if all the board members were made aware of.
17th, isn't it? Does that sound right?
Yeah, the 17th. Yeah, I wanna go.
Okay, I didn't know. Carl, were you made aware of?
Yes, I'm sorry, Brian, I didn't respond to your email, but I don't think that's gonna work with my schedule, so unfortunately.
One of the questions I did have for you, Bonnie, is this under any of the required timeline that we have to have so many towards programs and everything else that we need to have completed during the course of a year?
that would start January 1st of next year, that, requirement starts, and the guidelines are in your packet. There's a separate little packet that is a way for you to track your credits and your classes that you take. And at the end of the year, then you would submit that for our records so that we can show that, we have to keep track of your training.
Okay,
So this would be, the one on the 17th would be part of the training.
Would not be, because it's only training after January 1st. That's when the acts begins,
Oh, okay.
the requirement. Anything after that, and, the land use office will make you aware of different, opportunities for training. And it is only 4 credits, I think, of biannual training. And that's on the front page. It tells you in like a little summary of what the requirements are. And then in back of that, there's a detailed, description of all the actual public acts and what the requirements are.
You guys are gonna let us know when the training is, or?
There, in that booklet, there's like a list of different outlets that provide, training opportunities. And,
We could put,
you could pick your own, if you could seek out your own, and when we're made available, when we're made aware of any training, we'll certainly, share that with you.
And is any of this mandatory?
yes.
The four credits,
The 4 credits.
For ours, every 2 years,
yes,
Oh,
is
every-
mandatory.
Yeah.
2 years, and one of them has to be housing. And, what does it say, housing?
yeah, well, it says in number A, mandatory training, so anything I would imagine underneath the mandatory has to be.
1 hour has to be, 1 hour of the 4 has to be for affordable and fair housing policy.
So the one on the 17th, that won't count for
Correct.
this year, because even though it's gonna cover affordable housing or something. right?
Statute didn't go into effect.
Until next year. But I thought, if I'm not mistaken, I thought Ty had said that the last one that we went to would have been applied to it for whatever reason. Am I the only one that had picked up on that?
What did she say?
That the last meeting we went to for the AquaTurf was actually contributed
Oh,
towards?
yeah, right.
But
But it-
Bonnie's
That was
saying that
last
it's
year.
not.
Yeah, it is not, because it didn't start yet.
Right,
Oh,
it didn't
fine.
start yet, okay. Which is no big deal, it just, I was just, want to be cleared on that, that's all. All right, I think I motion to end our session.
Second?
We got a second.
That was fast.
Not sure if you were aware, but we voted to approve it.
So we're good to go.
Oh, yeah, you're, I apologize, yeah. Thought maybe you were.
Riveting information, we're listening in.
Yeah, yeah.